time to jam in Jamaica, the land of the King of Kingston. Will the Windies open their shoulders in the lung opener? Their attack is fearsome. Can they hunt in packs and prey on the lions? Rampaging roach, nasty the Rhine, brutal best and raging rampole, they're all chomping at the bit. Against them, first up it's as hard as nails opposition, and a captain with as many miles to go as their own. Slinger's his main flinger, but who else can turn it in his favour with the ball? You'd reckon it's up to the visiting Willow Wielders. Their aging horses are still up to speed, but surely now it's time for one of the colts to take them to the finishing post. A real cracker awaits as the winsome Windies take on the Lions of Lanka.
Hello everyone and welcome to the highlights of the Silkong Mobile Cup, the third match of this wonderful tri-series, and it is coming to you from Kingston. It is Sabina Park, the host, the West Indies, taking on Sri Lanka, and lots of excitement around this tri-series. Of course, India are in this as well. The surface at Sabina, not the shiniest like it used to be, so quite patchy and mottly, but nonetheless it's always a useful toss to win, and it went the way of the West Indies. So Dwayne Bravo said, we'll have a bowl first. Thanks, Angelo. The teams for this match, in terms of the big guns there on the left, Gale and Charles, Bravo, Samuel, Bravo followed, ran Sam in the run. They're all there in terms of guys that can smash the ball, bit of pace as well. And Sri Lanka, the usual suspects, of course, no Dilshan, he's not there, and so Taranga comes into there, and Malinga, and Mendes, those sort of usual names are there. And looking forward to seeing Piramana and see him in action with Jivan Mendes as well. So toss one by the West Indies, having a bowl. All right, let's pick up the action, and our commentators are Owen Lull and Tony Cozy.
So there's the West Indies captain for the 50 overs format of the game, setting his field. He's already had one decision to make. West Indies winning the toss, and he's chosen to bowl. And with a very similar field and a very similar team. In fact, the same squad the West Indies had in the Champions Trophy. Slightly overcast here. And I say good day. You've already seen him at the toss. But an official welcome to Aaron Lal, the former Indian opening batsman. Aaron, I believe you're back in the Caribbean for the first time since you were playing for India.
Yes, good morning to everybody. A good day to you, Tony. Yes, you're right, and it's such a pleasure to be back here. This is a real fun part of the world, and anybody who ever visits here goes back smiling and happy. So it's always a pleasure to be here, and that's one of the changes we're seeing. Kemar Roach has come in place of Tino Best, who played the Champions Trophy. So Kemar Roach will be starting, and we've got Mahela and Upul Tharanga. Upul Tharanga has come in place of Dilshan, who was there at the Champions Trophy. Got injured in that game against India and still recovering. This is an opportunity for Tharanga. First delivery.
And it's a good one as well from Roach. Had an up and down series in the Champions Trophy. Already like Pakistan had 3 early wickets, might have had another one, but for a drop catch by the keeper. And this is a type of delivery which we saw from him at the Oval against Pakistan in the first match, and then came back against India and just couldn't find any sort of rhythm at all. And has developed over the past couple of years into the leading West Indies bowler, and that's a reason why.
Yes, that's a terrific start, and if I remember correctly, he was a little bit short against India and he got pulled away by the openers. Gave too many runs square of the wicket, so with the new ball he's now being, or he'll probably endeavour to find the right leg ball. There is a bit of movement. They have won the toss and have fielded, and maybe just a hint of surface moisture on the wicket which they want to exploit. We've got They've got a few close catchers in before the movement.
Yeah, I'd forgotten to say welcome wherever you are, and especially those in Sri Lanka who will be following the telecast. A lot of matches for this tournament, the 3 here and then 3 in Trinidad and then the final in Trinidad.
Really no reason to play at that one. It was angled away. It was really far outside the off stump to begin with, and if you're playing a defensive shot, that makes very little sense.
Stroked away, square, end off the over, 3 gone, 8 without loss.
Just over pitching, you know, sometimes then a bowler will do that after a bouncer, bowl you a wide half volley, but this was just under the bat. All he needed to do was put bat to it and it sped away. That should settle some of the butterflies in his stomach. Second one that surprised Jayawardene in a row, because just holding up and coming in, he's expecting the ball to move away from Ravi Rampal. There are 2 slips in position as well, but that's one of the few that's maybe just held up on him a bit. Good bounce as well on that occasion.
It's in the air and it's gone just short, and will go not quite. Yes, probably 4. Charles tries to pull it back, but I'm sure his leg was over the ropes. The umpires will have a look at it. Not entirely hit as cleanly as he was hoping for.
Well, this is a brave shot. I think it's just that wants to get rid of the shackles that the West Indies have imposed on them. Yeah, that's certainly going to be 4. Or maybe not. You've just got to see whether at the point of him pushing the ball back, is his foot touching anything? That's a tough one. From all counts, it may be given as 4. Yes, it is.
Nice shot. Beautifully timed. You can give it up, I think. Outfield is a little bit slow, but always from the time it left the bat. Beautifully played, wrist work from Jayawardene.
So suddenly they're getting some momentum and push there. Brilliantly played. It's all about balance. He doesn't fall over, doesn't take his foot across too much, meets the ball in middle and off and then flicks it. Oh, special shot. It's just all about the wrists and balance.
Beautifully played this time by Jayawardene. Width on that one, and he shows that not just off his legs that he's strong, but also put away.
Just width. Got on top of that one this time. The bat coming from a higher position to a lower one, trying to cut that bounce down. Beautifully done. Willing to take that risk. Slashing hard. If he gets the edge, he hopes that it'll go over the slip fielders.
Sammy just dives across. May just be going through Dwayne Bravo's mind now about the close fielders that he has. He has 2 slips and a gully, influenced earlier by the fact that the left-hander especially was playing and missing. Yeah, he's moved out now. For Taranga. So Pollard goes out there.
We saw the umpire having a close, hard look at the follow-through of Ravi Rampal, coming very, very close. Ian Gold it was. He's telling him that, hey, you're coming so close. Now just a look. This is the first one you permitted because that's within the 5 feet. The second one, that's the one. The heel of that one. Now, mind you, the danger area is 1 foot either side from the middle stump. That's where he was just cautioning him. You're coming very close.
Well, Faranga's had his problems here. Not too far from the edge.
Still not definite at all, going nowhere. That front foot just not reaching the line of the delivery. Reaching and groping outside that off stump. It's been very fortunate today. Oopsie, the outside edge, and he's running away for 4, but rather fortunate. They're again tempting him outside the off stump with that length delivery. Lucky to get away with it.
Yeah, and Bravo has kept the 3 slips in, or 2 slips and a wide 3rd slip for Taranga, just for that. And oh well, thick edge, thick enough to elude the diving Pollard, and away it goes for 4.
Again, Taranga flees that drive, and same result as happened when he played it against Kemar Roach a few overs ago. Picks up an inadvertent boundary.
He's created his own luck. Got a few boundaries through, and Darren Bravo, or Dwayne Bravo I should say, has taken away a slip. If there was a second slip, that would have gone straight to him.
Darren Bravo had to do the cleaning up.
He saved 1 for the team. The outfield not as quick.
One down. Bravo has his man. Taranga has played in Mesa and they seem to be finding a little better touch of late. That one is nicked through to Rangan.
It's in the area that he likes it. Just playing at it. Skipper breakthrough. Taranga's gone for 25. Sri Lanka 62 for 1.
So Taranga on his comeback train failed to make a wonderful start count. His wicket was a key moment in this clash. But with old hands Jayawardena and Sangakkara at the crease, no one was panicking just yet in the visitors' dressing room.
Two of the senior-most players in this Sri Lankan team together at the crease. Sangakkara replaces Upal Taranga. Standing player across all conditions, and that is probably where he has that edge on Mahela Jayawardene, who maybe is a little more vulnerable when the ball bounces a touch. Sangakkara has acquitted himself brilliantly across every condition conceivable.
He's out there because Upal Taranga got a fine nick. Not in any position at all to play that shot.
14 partnerships of over 100 and 28 of over 50. And they're working on another one here, Aaron.
They certainly are, and what a terrific beginning from this man, Jayawardene. He would be a strong contender for the Hayward's 5000 Hausla Buland Academy Award, and that academy provides vocational skills to individuals. He doesn't need too many skill trainings, this man. He's got enormous skill. And he's really the one that's provided the momentum, the impetus. He's held it together, he hasn't taken too many risks, and yet he's very quickly on to 42.
Make that 46. Nice. Fine leggers up. Ill-directed delivery and got what it deserved.
He's so easily, without any problem whatsoever, can latch on to loose deliveries and convert them, because he's such an all-round gifted player. Now there it is, he knows fine leg is up, gets into that position very early, takes his front foot a little across, not too far forward, allowing himself the space to flick it down. What a complete cricketer.
We have had 17 overs. The current rate 238 is like the score for Sri Lanka. So in the right now, brought into the attack, and I'm sure we'll have something to say about that. It's going to start off to Mahela Jayawardene, who's on a well-played 48 at just about a run a ball. Very well this morning. He's been elegant, he's been innovative, he's just been very classical in the way that he's approached his innings.
But they're attacking Jayawardene, which is good. They want his wicket and they're working for it. Their main bowlers now in operation. They've got a slip and a leg slip or a backward short leg, both in a very attacking position to take him.
He doesn't waste any time. That brings up his 50. Had the length and had the width outside off stump, and just reverses it away. So 50, number 70 in ODI cricket for Mahela Jayawardene.
1500s added to that. That makes him stunning career. But take a look at this, beautifully executed.
A man for all seasons, all conditions and evidently all positions. Sri Lanka's most reliable batsman looked fluent as he brought up his half-ton at less than a run a ball. But having vindicated his think tank's decision to send him right up to the top of the order, Mahela failed to kick on and build on it further. He would fall soon after as the Sri Lankan essay began to lose momentum.
That's a big call and it's given out. Got the inside edge and Jayawardene goes.
He just changed the field around a bit. Jayawardene wanted to actually defend against the one that is might just leave him outside the off stump. Gets an inside edge. Take a look at this. He's trying to cover for that extra slip. Inside edge on the pad, and Ramdeep makes no mistake because it just ballooned up. This is a big wicket for the West Indies. Wonderfully done by Sunil Narayan, and Jayawardene played a great hand. Walks back, rather forlorn, but he gets 52 or 52, 85 for 2.
So the introduction of Narayan has brought a wicket, the important wicket of Mahela Jayawardena, the one the West Indies wanted. The batsman now is Dinesh Chandimal.
Off the top edge, will go for 4 and gets Chandimal off the mark, although not with an entirely convincing shot, but 4 will do.
It is a method that one or two teams and batsmen have applied against Sunil Narine, the sweep, both conventional and reverse, to try to get to his length.
Good spell here by Sami.
It's been an excellent spell by him because he came in at a time where maybe runs started leaking a little bit towards the back end of Roach's spell, a little bit of Rampole.
Didn't time it, so won't carry all the way, just a couple more. Most of the other West Indians will be averaging over 6 runs and over in their careers.
I think I like what he does with his consistency, and other guys have different jobs. Sami has a different role, and we can probably talk more about that when we come back.
Now, will that elude Samuels? It does. It goes for 4. That's the benefit of experience and finding gaps. Raises 100 for Sri Lanka. First boundary of Darren Sami. Last ball of his 7th over. Easily taken. Played straight to Pollard. And Sangakkara just lingers there, can't believe what he's done. But he just seemed to have been done in the air by Narine. Threw the shot too early. And an easy catch to extra cover. So 3 down now. The 2 main batsmen, Jayawardena first and now Sangakkara.
Sangakkara cannot believe what he's done. He sort of held back on the shot because he wasn't close enough to it to play that drive, and it spells his end. 104 for 3.
Some work now for the captain to do. Angela Matthews has come in. And Sri Lanka, having lost both their main players, Jayawardena and Sangakkara, both in the line. First of all, an inside edge onto the pad, the ball lobbing to the keeper, and then a drive to short extra cover. Kemar Roach comes back now. See if he can make a couple of strikes here. Started with a maiden, and then was quite expensive. Jayawardena clipped it away off the legs especially. Sangakkara, Thoranga, correction. A little bit lucky with some edges and playing and missing. Last over was 4. He's had 4 overs before this, 14 off it.
Great to have someone like Sunil Narine who can come in and give you control and also wicket-taking prowess. Not close enough to it, you can see there, and that's why the bottom hand came off the bat, to try to at least bring some measure of control, deftness, softness to the drive. It didn't happen.
That's gone very quickly down there and will reach the boundary. Just steered away, a quick delivery, and just steered cleverly down to the boundary for 4.
It was back of a length as well, which sometimes can be one of the errors that Narine commits. wide and pushed through too quickly, back of a length, allowed Matthews to use the pace.
Shouts of catch and oohs and ahs, but was he well played, kept down, deliberately kept down, and deliberately played pass leg slip for a couple. And no way it was going to carry. Oh, he's dropped it. Unbelievable. That really was a simple catch to Gale. He's taken so many outstanding catches there, and straight in and straight out.
This to me was an excellent length from Kemar Roach. This is what I want to see more often. It's not too full, it's that in-between length where Matthews doesn't know whether to get forward or to stay back. The corridor as well. Just seemed to be too quickly onto him.
Well, this would prove to be a big turning point in the clash. The Lankan skipper was on 7 at that time, and had the Windies not muffed this opportunity, there was a real chance that they would be able to take a stranglehold on this contest and maybe even harbour hopes of bowling the Emerald Islanders out for less than 150. But it was not to be, and Matthews would make them pay.
Beautifully played. Overpitched and hammered between the bowler and mid-off. Straight enough to beat both of them. To Roach's left and to mid-off right. So Matthews, having been dropped one ball, drives another one for 4, 117 for 3. Roach will continue, having had Matthews dropped it, slip straight forward to Gale in the last over. Leg buys here. Nope, but runs it is. Off the bat, I should have picked that up because it did go very quickly. Had it come off the pad of the thigh pad, would have just slowed down a bit and turned away. Did that really well. But it holds up in the field. It's a little bit lush grass on there, so only get a couple.
But I just think on occasions that he overpitches too much. This is where he was dropped. I love that length. There'll be variations to it, and then he creeps closer 2 balls later. And I just want to see Roach, and I'm a big admirer of him and what he is able to do.
Gets it away from long on. Goes all the way. Dinesh Chandimal opening up his shoulders. These are good signs to see from the young man. First 6 of the innings.
And he's all smiles, so he must be quite happy with the pitch as well. And this was nicely struck, straight down the ground. Safest place to hit. It's usually straight.
Quicker, surprised Angelo Matthews.
Well, a little hostility there from Darren Sammy. Put his back in this one, got a little extra bounce, and Angelo a bit at sea for a second there. That could have gone anywhere.
Really surprised him. He's been bowling at a friendly pace. Suddenly thinking he needs to do something different.
Get it.
Again, another soft dismissal. Marlon Samuels picks up the wicket this time.
Well, they don't get softer than this. Just floated it up, Marlon Samuels. Chandimal not getting to the pitch, just chips it into the hands of Dwayne Bravo. Fourth wicket goes down for Sri Lanka.
Chandimal needed a big knock. This point's gone for 21. Sri Lanka 140 for 4. Well, the new batsman in. Dude wants to have a go.
That is Lahiru Tirimani.
Impressed. Well, he's got to play vital innings for Sri Lanka. They have to get to a competitive score around 240, 250. He's out there because Dinesh Chandimal just chipped one onto the onside. The skipper quite surprised. Didn't make a mistake. That was too easy. A loud edge, loud appeal.
Well, they seem quite confident, but Joel Wilson is having none of it. And Tirimani didn't really seem too troubled himself. Let's see. I reckon that just whispered past the outside edge.
There was a lot of interest from all the fielders around. Feet nowhere. Again, a tentative poke outside the off stump. Two slips in place. Dwayne Bravo is looking for this opportunity.
We must remember that there's no DRS, no recourse.
No good fielding. Marlon Samuels on this occasion backing up his previous over where he picked up a wicket, making sure that you keep the new batsman on strike.
That's the appeal in real time. That's very close to the edge. It's just a little bit of daylight there between the ball and the outside edge of the bat.
Goes over the top. He'll get 4. Tirimana. Now and again, you need to deal blows like this.
Well, in a lot of ways, he trusted the pitch here. He wasn't to the pitch of it, but just hit through the line. And that big, thick bat did the rest. Nicely struck.
Worth the risk. Dwayne Bravo had his fielders in the circle. 2 slips, as we did mention. You need to break the shackles. You need to play shots like this. Good option from Tirimana.
Well, things are tight. You need to send a message. You need to give the opposition something to think about. Still a man short on the drive, though.
Just the 4 runs off the over. It's time for drinks with Sri Lanka at 145 for 4. Brilliantly bowled. That's worth another look because there's not much Tirimana could have done. He did really well to miss it. Angled into the left hand and look at it go across him.
It's committed him to play. The line made him have to play. Just a little bit of bounce and movement. We're just glad when you survive those.
The batting power play is taken, by the way, folks. And Ajanta Mendes, who they'll be hoping can recapture some form to work with on a worn pitch. So if they can get a score, I really don't know what is an appropriate total given where they are now, but they've got some conditions to work with. And they'll have to maximize this batting power play. 5 overs, only 3 men outside the circle. And specialist bowlers for that event. Seen a line at some point in time, the wide will help Sri Lanka's cause.
But it'll be interesting to see how they handle this power play, because just before the power play, they also had 6 in the circle. The West Indies were bowling with 6 in the circle, so not a lot has changed. It's probably psychological. But we just got to see how Matthews goes forward from here. But if you carry on sitting on the fence, you're not going to go anywhere. You've got to take maybe the odd risk to get that boundary. Long on comes in, third man drops back. That was clever thinking. The batsman withdrew. Not only did Rampal follow him, but he pitched it short as well and really took him by surprise. So it's evident now that they're going to really go after the bowling and try and get those few boundaries, maybe take the odd risk.
Important to note where the fielders are. It so often determines the delivery, the length and line of delivery, and the shot that will be attempted. Single. Remember, folks, you're only allowed 3 outside that circle, so you've got a fine leg at the moment. Well, certainly when Matthews was on strike, a deep backward square and a long on for Thuramana. Where are those deep fielders? Third man in place, man sweeping on the offside square. He's coming in now. Pollard is coming into a point, orthodox point. So you've got that third man long off and a deep backward square.
A heavily loaded onside field, 3 saving 1 on the onside. Got a slip in as well.
Is it struck well enough? It doesn't look like it. Wicket taken. Often the batting power play will lead to a wicket, and it has done so yet again on this occasion.
So many batting sides make this cardinal error. They just believe that once the power play comes on, you're meant to hit over the top whenever the ball, and this wasn't there for him to go. He forced the issue and had to depart. So another big wicket. Thirumalai goes for 19. It's 151 for 5.
Nuwan Kulasekara is the new batsman, handy striker of the ball. Probably sent in to take advantage of this batting power play. I think, to me, it's good bowling first of all as we look at this wicket again. Pace taken off the ball. It's a very good slow ball, and that's why the timing was not perfect. Catch, it's the cry. Pollard is circling, he takes it well inside. Now, that was an easy one for Pollard. We've seen him take some spectacular ones, skirting the boundary ropes. Another wicket for Rampal.
Just the perfect man you'd want under a skied catch like that. Pollard. Although this one did threaten to pop out, but he had it covered. Take a look. He had to adjust. Maybe there's a little bit of a swirling breeze. Then he's just threatening to come out of those bucket-like hands. But Rampal has a wicket. The West Indies carry on tightening the rope round the neck of the Sri Lankans. 2 for Kulasekara, 159 for 6.
Jeevan Mendes is the new batsman replacing Nuwan Kulasekara. Still some work to do, still a fair amount of overs left in the innings. 12 after this.
So the power play has another victim. The batting power play. Jeevan Mendes comes in, and now one thought has got to be on batting out the 50 overs. Look at this wicket. He was in no position. Well bowled, Rampal, and take a look at this for a catch. He had it covered, but obviously it swung away and it's almost threatening to pop out.
Oh, Rampal's down. Wow. But as soon as he delivered, he went down, and that doesn't look good. That looks excruciating.
Yeah, he delivered it and then suddenly went down. He's obviously... Wonder what happened there. Not too much. Oh, that's when it happened. Yeah, because that delayed reaction told me that it's something else. I thought it was probably a cramp, but look, this one. No, oh God. He's a big man. He's a heavy man, and when you go down like that, or you just twisted it crazily. Very odd.
Innocuous him just falling through there, just stepping on the outside of the boot. Very, very painful, affecting the ligaments around the ankle there. You're hoping that it's not strained or torn.
Well, he'd need care because that can swell up. It certainly needs care now. It's really, it's a tough one. Yeah, that can be. It's hurting me. Gosh, that can be very painful. Wow. What happened there? What is that delivery, Bish?
I think it's the second one we've seen Bravo bowl to a left-hander today from around the wicket that is angled in and straightened quite beautifully. Seam relatively upright, so it's done its work off the seam.
Oh gosh, that's run away. That's missed everybody and everything. It'll be given as byes, not wides, because he was playing the reverse sweep. And if he was playing the normal shot, that might have been 5 wides. Huge amount of turn there. Wow, that really did get stuck in that play there, that delivery.
And it's sort of why I was saying again, Herath to a lesser extent Ajanta Mendes, because he's not a big spinner of the ball, and Jeevan Mendes himself with this leg spin could be a threat if Sri Lanka get a significant score, or score of any significance.
Oh, that's a great shot. There's no defense there. There's nobody in the deep. Pulls off a fabulous boundary, Matthews.
That's the area that the challenge was set. The 3 deep fielders are on the leg side. First boundary for 41 balls.
In the air and straight in. Samuel's coming in, just started coming about a few paces, and the sweep shot causes the demise of Jeevan Mendes. Another wicket for Narayan. 176 for 7 now.
What we couldn't possibly picture was the frustration of Angelo Matthews at the other end. He was at the non-striker's end and he wanted a little bit more help from Jeevan Mendes. Played the sweep shot. And you tend to do that when you're not reading the spin. He's gone early in the piece for 5, 176 for 7.
Batsman is Rangana Herath, left arm spinner, but it will be Matthews who will face. That ball was in the air long enough for the batsman to have crossed. Another wicket for Narayan, who continues to dominate, ranked number 1 in the ODI bowlers by the ICC a while ago, and number 1 as well in T20s.
Fabulous figures, 3 for 25.
It'll tickle down the leg side. Roach having work to do. They'll get a couple.
He excites you, Narayan, because he's unorthodox and he's very good. He can spin the ball. Unlike Ajanta Mendes, who needs a rough surface. This was a rough shot. Jeevan Mendes trying to whack the ball and get it past that fielder in the deep. Samuels caught it well.
And past the fielder. That'll be 4. Rampole too short there, and no difficulty for Matthews.
Yeah, didn't get it in the middle of the bat, but still good enough for Angelo Matthews. Ravi Rampole has been experimenting with good effect. The slower balls, the off-cutters and leg cutters. Not too happy with the effort put in by the fielder there.
West Indies using 6 bowlers. Roach started with a maiden. His first over was a maiden, but then a little bit expensive in his first spell towards the end. Rampole with those 2 important wickets, bowled really well. Sami very containing. Even though he hasn't got a wicket, it's contributed towards Sri Lanka's position at the moment, which is not encouraging. Here's Rampole. Straight to mid-off. Sami holds it in. No difficulty with that. Just hammered. Almost catching practice. So another wicket goes, 8 down. Harath goes to Rampole.
Pretty aimless stuff from Urangana Herath. In fact, from all of the late order batsmen from Sri Lanka, they've perished under pressure, and the pressure has been created by good tactics, good bowling from West Indies. Sami taking a good smart catch at mid-off, and Herath was departed for 4, 190 for 8.
So the wicket of Herath means that they're 190 for 8 during the course of the 45th over, 44 overs and 1 ball. So Sri Lanka here in danger of being dismissed before their 50 overs allotment. A lot depends on Matthews and the approach of the last 2 batsmen. Here's the wicket for Rampole.
Yeah, straightforward case for Darren Sami at mid-off. It went hard, it went flat, but Sami is a good fielder, made no mistake. He picks up a run of the last ball, and that should satisfy Angelo Matthews, because that's his 50 as well. Played well under pressure, needed a big knock from the captain, and it's been a good one. 193 for 8.
In the air, fielder coming in late. Samuels picked it up late. Seemed to have enough time to get in for it, but he started late.
There's clearly a late reaction from the fielder there. Samuels, it's a high bouncer. Somehow managed to crack it, didn't middle it, and well, wrong-footed Matthews.
There he goes, in the air, and gone all the way. Yeah, just play around Lalith and look for the single. Doesn't play that way, I can tell you. Got hold of it, and superb strike.
I think we were simply over-analysing a simple situation. Lasith Malinga, what's wrong with him? He's fine against Narayan. Confidence 6.
Now he'll get the single, you watch. And he's led before, but he doesn't get the single. Clever bowling by Narayan. Straight push through, and Malinga perhaps thinking, well, I better play for the signal now. Just missed it.
Why didn't he slog? Well, he played this one as a regular batsman. Hit his back leg. Where did it pitch was a question for the umpire to answer. He said within the stumps, and Malinga was gone. For 8, 205 for now.
With a spring in his stride, guile in his loop, and wicked turn off the surface, Sunil Narayan had precipitated a scarcely believable batting collapse. His 4th and last wicket for the match would come in his very last over, and it was just reward for a man who many experts have touted as the best limited over spinner in the world. His fine figures, together with Rampal's gutsy spell, had put the Windies firmly in the driver's seat. And though they hadn't been able to restrict the Lankans to fewer than 200, the local favourites were still cock-a-hoop, having done so well after winning the toss.
So Mendes, the second of the two Mendes, Janta comes in now and will face a bowler similar to his type. Finger flicking, mystery spin from the Rhine. See a bit of that as well when Mendes has to bowl.
Yeah, Plum would have gone on to hit the stumps. Didn't read the spin on that one. Malinga. And gone. Thank you very much for coming. Now this is beautifully handled by Bravo. Lovely placement of that fielder at slip, and he'd be pretty happy with how things have worked up. Charles was the man who caught that catch. And well, he was outstanding in the field. Bravo set that fielder marvelously well to get a great result. And Matthews goes back home, not out on 55. He tried extremely hard, but just couldn't get this innings going, couldn't get the pace into this innings, and so he'd be just a touch disappointed that the other batsmen didn't help him out in making it worthwhile. Mendes goes for 2, and so Sri Lanka, in a way, blown away for just 208. They were promising a lot, and that promise did not materialize because West Indies bowled brilliantly, fielded well, and had the better of the opposition right throughout this innings.
Sri Lanka put into bat by Dwayne Bravo. The top 5 got runs, so only 2 half-centuries, but guys got starts, and that's the disappointing thing I think there for Sri Lanka. Bowled out in 48.5 overs. Cardinal sin to not use up your 50 overs. 11 extras, and only managing really to get over just over 200. 208 in fact, and the skipper, Angelo Matthews, not out there. Roach didn't pick up a wicket, but he was useful at times, a hostile to new ball. Rampal, he got 3 for 38, 2 for 37 to Bravo. The standout there though was 10 overs, no maidens, 4 for 40. Sunil Ryan was simply outstanding, and well, he could have had a few more as well. Samuels, he got 1 for 11, and the former skipper Darren Sammy, the 10 overs, no maidens, none for 34 was very economical indeed. So big ask in terms of the West Indies, not really, all pretty comfortable in the end when you look at it. 209 for 50 overs, only constitutes just over, look at it, just over 4 runs per over, 4.18 to be precise. Time for a quick break here on the highlights, and when we come back, it will be the West Indies one shot.
Chris Gayle out in the middle there with Johnson Charles in pursuit of the 209 for victory. There are 2 dashers at the top of the innings, and so Sri Lanka will know that any chances they have of wresting the initiative away from the West Indies will lie partly with Lasith Malinga.
And hence, he's going to be bowling the first over. We don't see that normally. It's Nuwan Kulasekara who takes the new ball.
That is something that you don't see quite often as well. A quick signal off the first ball of the innings from Chris Gayle. That is a good sign. Often felt that he needs to add this dimension to his game.
It's impressive to see Charles responding, because he would have been taken by surprise.
Nice timing from Chris Gayle to greet the first ball from Nuwan Kulasekara. Picks up a boundary. Very well controlled shot. Kulasekara will have to pull his length back.
And something we don't usually see, leaning into the shot. And a good stride in from Chris Gayle. Generally, he's got that wide base from where he transfers his weight onto the front foot or the back foot and uses his power, but this is pure class.
There is that attempted short ball, and we're not discussing his Yorker yet.
The first time that he's changed his length. Lasit Malinga, which we're not used to. He's always changing his length. He plays around with it, the short one. One that starts on a good length, and also the fuller one.
Nice shot. Gale is showing some good touch here at the beginning of his innings. Nothing about what he's done so far suggests a lot of brute force, just using the bowler's pace.
No one misses out on the pads. Lasit Malinga moving in line. He's got that leg slip in place. It's a strange feel, but this time bisecting the field easily. Chris Gale is well balanced and looking very calm at the crease.
Yeah, Russell, I think he's got, as we've seen Malinga get collared a lot more by certain batsmen and teams in the last 2 years, it means that they've gotten more accustomed to his variations. He still has his moments. Oh, that's gone through Sangakkara. Goodbyes, and it's not the easiest job when the ball is bouncing a couple of times in front of you.
Bit of grip, that's what will encourage the Sri Lankans, but they don't have a score that they can play around with. They need to be at their best.
Keep your pads together. We've had very good weather conditions. The morning started off pretty gloomy, a lot of heavy cloud overhead, but the rain has stayed away so far. And we're in brilliant cricketing weather. Kulasekara.
Good shape on it. I thought it hit him a little too high. And that's how the game goes, doesn't it? Just to get back to your point, Bish, on Lasit Malinga being taken apart by a few batsmen. The style of play of certain batsmen does suit. Again, bounce not on the side of Kulasekara.
Bit of shape for Kulasekara, and he's happier when the ball, he's got a great seam position. He always has presented a fantastic seam position. His hand comes down just on the outside of the ball, which facilitates the ball going into the right-hander. Kulasekara has hit a very good length, and it's not the easiest when you have to mix the lineup to the left and the right hander. You can just see again how good a seam position is. And again, the fingers just slide off towards the left of screen as you look at it at home. Got him, dropped him, in and out. Should have been taken. Matthews.
Straight into the tummy. The heads go down for Sri Lanka. Just that length once again from Kulasekara. and you can call that a sitter. See this often from Angelo Matthews. Takes special catches, but the easy ones go down.
The drops were all turning out to be big turning points in this encounter. Sri Lanka could have rocked the West Indian run chase there, but instead, having provided a real lifeline to the big hitting Charles, would find themselves on the mat soon after.
Excellent length.
We were talking about Mendes not evolving as much as we would have liked. That happens with a lot of players. We see them coming off with a bang and then not staying in the team. It's generally easy to make the team. Easier rather than staying in the team, because you've got to keep making those adjustments to your game for the better. You've got to identify what's coming at you, your opposition.
Googly, that second ball. The first ball was a carom ball, flicked out of the front of the hand. The intention was for it to come back to Gale. He didn't do a great deal, and then that followed the Googly. We're seeing two. That's the first one. Carom ball. Seen a lot from Narayan already today. Nice shot from Gale. Again in full control of it, not overhitting the ball. Just got close enough in length.
This is very good batting. We're showing you the variations. This time it was in Gale's zone. Went slightly higher and slightly fuller.
And Chris Gale is on the go now. Picked the length quite nicely.
Well, he's making up for Charles. Partnerships work together. Isn't all that short though. Kulsekara is not express. With the type of power that Gale possesses, it's always an option.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Beautifully bowled. He's in good rhythm, Kulsekara. He's getting a nice little shape and controlling length well.
And that's good to see, because he's had a tough time. This is the first time in a few months that I'm seeing Kulsekara being able to hoop that ball once again. It was outstanding early in the year down in Australia, but since then it's been quite flat. Lost his place for the opening game in the Champions Trophy, but has come back, and his batting performances have actually helped him get his confidence back. And he's so useful because generally with the new ball gets the team a wicket or two. When he's in good rhythm, that allows the captain to use Lasith Malinga whenever he wishes at vital times.
Oh, that is a classy shot. As we mentioned that Kulsekara was getting a little bit of shape, and playing that against that shape just demonstrates the quality of the shot.
You'll probably only see this shot from Chris Gale. Power and the ability to just pick that off the stumps. Incredible from Chris Gale. Changing the field. He's making Angelo Matthews work. Third man comes into the circle and long on goes out. Kulsekara's stock ball is the one that goes to the slips. So he's caused a problem, Gale, by pulling out those punches.
Brilliant. Brilliant from Gale. One over the onside, and now he chooses the offside option. 41 without loss. Jawardner throws his arms down in disgust at first slip.
tossed up. Just a little bit of doubt probably, because we've seen the ball bounce a lot on this pitch.
Every now and then that will happen to him, because he tries to bowl that slower Yorker, and from that slinging action he tries. It's a very difficult ball to control. That really went all over the place.
Yes, he has a mixture of deliveries. Doesn't always get them all right. It's a good, judging from the height it passed the batsman, it's a good thing it was a slower ball.
Oh, he smashed that one. He's pulverized it. Slow delivery, and he really latched onto it big time. Just going down the leg side, must have taken some part of his pad, because that was not adjudged wide.
It's the kind of delivery you don't want this landing on your toe. And it wasn't too far from Chris Gale's big toe. Had a lot of pace on it as well.
Got away with it. I don't think he took any part of the pad.
Sounded as if it touched something to start with, but
oh, he's mistimed that, but he's going to get 4 for it. Oh, he's going to get 6. That ball really traveled, and he's bowling quick. Chris Gale really went after it big time, got the top edge, and he's got 6 for it.
well, he's no slouch, Malinga, and seemed to just get the bottom edge, the top edge rather, very close to the toe of the bat. Well, did put some shoulder into that, and enough legs on it to carry it over the boundary. So fortuitous for Chris Gale.
That is close. No, says the umpire, it isn't. Probably turning too much. That was the googly. 63 without loss. Oh, it's so easy for him. When he's on song, really everything hits the meat of the blade, and he's taking singles at will now. Take a look at the last ball, last over.
Well, there was some question as to what this ball would have done. Certainly hit him in line, and didn't do a whole lot. It'll be interesting to see where it would have ended up. Pitch. And it looks as if it was hitting leg. One of the few times Ian Bishop has been right.
Oh, the inside edge. There's running away for 4. There's really no justice in this world. 50 for Chris Gale, and he's really deserved every bit of it. All the applause that he's getting is being drummed up in his hometown in Savannah Park. He's played a fabulous innings. Everybody except for Jayawardene has struggled on this track, but not Gale. Oh, in the air, but it's gone over. It's just spooned over. It squirted off the top edge, I think. He got away. Fortune favors the brave. 70 without loss after 15. That's better. That's the way. That should give him a lot of relief. And it wasn't from the meat of the blade. He's a big, strong man, Charles. That's carried with ease for 6.
Well, he's decided to throw caution to the wind here. Johnson Charles just hasn't been able to get going. But he gets hold of this one. So Sri Lanka have not been able to make that breakthrough. West Indies needing 127 with 204 balls to go. And that one goes a-flying from Chris Gale. So make that 23 from 203 balls. No problems whatsoever. Short and put away. Chris Gale has changed gears, and just as we change commentators, Tony Cozier is now in the seat with him, Russell Arnold.
Thank you, Geoffrey Dujon. Such a strong man. I mean, no real big back lift on that shot before. Here's Matthews. The thing with Gale, of course, he's got this tremendous reputation in T20s and 50 overs, but here's a batsman who has got 2 triple hundreds in Test cricket. He's got 15 Test hundreds. He's batted for 10.5 hours, probably 3 those triple hundreds, and he's got a double as well. So he's not just one-dimensional. But you wouldn't find him playing many of those in Tests. You get him 2.
Well, the Sri Lankans will know all about one of those 300s, which made down in ball in a Test match. You're right. It's his power that allows him to play this way.
Down he goes, using his feet and getting under it and hoisting it straight down the ground for 4. Charles just beginning now to free himself.
No real turn, enabling Charles just to hit through the line.
Yeah, they've doubled up, in fact, not only here, where they put Michael Holding, one of the great Jamaican players for the West Indies. There it is, the Michael Holding end, but it's still the George Headley stand. In Barbados, for instance, there's a 3W stand, World Weeks and Walcott stand. At the end is known as the Joe Garner end. So they double up. A lot of cricketers to get the names on the various stands and ends and what have you, and gates.
And that's actually across from where we are, the end that we are at. Was known as the Blue Mountains end, wasn't it? But now it's the Courtney Walsh end.
Yep, there's another great Jamaican, the fast bowler, leading wicket taker in Test cricket for a while. In fact, beat the record here at Sabina Park in the Test match against Zimbabwe.
Well, I walked through an interesting gate this morning, the Marley Gate.
Yeah, a lot of people mistake that as for Marty, Bob Marley, of course. It's in fact named after Cecil Marley. And he was the president of the Jamaica Cricket Association, the West Indies Cricket Board as well. In the air and over. Remarkable shot by Gale.
Well, looks like he's not got all of it. Moved out of the way. And you'll see these shots only from his Gale. Played on length. Plenty of problems for the Sri Lankans. Just with their batting, their bowling. and fielding also put under tremendous pressure. 6 fours and 5 sixes so far for Chris Gayle.
We're just talking about the Marty Gates, of course. Bob Marty, very, very famous internationally. But the Marty Gates after Cecil Marty, Robert Cecil Marty, in fact, and named after him. And very good president. He also played cricket for Jamaica. I think he was captain at one stage.
Clever batting now from the West Indian batsman. 11 off the over. We have a game. We've had 20 overs. It's 109 for no loss.
Down he goes, absolutely straight. Absolutely straight. Superb shot by Charles. Using his feet, getting onto the ball.
They're not too close to it. When he gets close to the ball, he will not be able to swing his arms as he's done on this occasion. Just not allowing the left arm spinner to settle into a line and length.
Asaya, difficult one. And he's got it. Not easy, not easy. Jawardner it is. He would have had quite a few of those in his day. And Johnson Charles attempting to repeat the shot he had made before, and it really went up into the clouds which hang over Sabina Park now. He isn't looking.
Well, that was a nervous Jayawardene. Nothing's been going the Sri Lankans' way. That's a relief to hang on to it. He struggled. 2 sixes and a 4 to him. Johnson Charles gone for 29. The West Indies are 1 down for 115.
Darren Bravo comes in now, left-hander, lovely player. Showed his potential in his first Test series in Sri Lanka against the Sri Lankans. Hasn't quite measured up to the expectations, but he's still young. And there's Charles trying to launch it once more and not getting the depth on it.
It's very difficult to spot this as a batsman. There you go, that middle finger right behind the ball. But when he's bowling the orthodox spinner, fingers are right underneath the ball.
No outside man. Just open the face of the bat, let the ball do the work. Another boundary for Gayle.
Brilliant play. He knew exactly what he was doing. Look at him open the face of the bat to find his spot.
Well, that was just power. Was through his legs before he could get his hands done.
It's an apt description. Indication of how powerfully Gayle strikes the ball. Usually you'd think Harap would be able to get down and gobble that up. Or any bowler, any slow bowler. Nope. And for good measure, he thumps the next one down the ground for 6. So it's not been a great day so far for Herat with the ball.
Well, Chris Gayle goes on to 90.
In a flash.
You have to have real power to hit it that flat, that far, folks.
to hit it somewhere in that region. Whether he timed it perfectly, I'm not sure.
Well, it got to the boundary fast enough to, if you think that he timed it perfectly, split the two men on the boundary.
Squeezed away by Darren Bravo for 4. $151 for 1. So if you give him that width and that fullness of length, it's good. He has that class to put those away. He will get better.
I was learning how to bat. I was always told, hit the ball in front of you, because that's where you can see it and that's where you have the most control over it. And this was just an intentional shot over cover. Well, that will be wide, and it's going to make the boundary. So it's going to be 5 wides. This should have been taken wide enough of the batsman. Maybe moved a little bit too late. Sangakkara didn't do much off the surface.
Goes for it and gets there. Well played, Chris Gayle. ODI 100, number 21. Moves into 5th position, joining Herschel Gibbs, former South African batsman on 21 as well.
The King of Kingston reigned supreme on the day. Such was his dominance that he was truly the monarch of all he surveyed. The Sabina Park faithful honestly couldn't have asked for anything more. With shots all around the dial, Christopher Henry Gayle wowed all those who watched this compelling exhibition of power hitting. The 33-year-old had seized the Lankan bowlers by the scruffs of their necks and in a brutal no-holds-barred assault took the game completely away from the opposition. And with Darren Bravo providing great support at the other end, a triumphant West Indian march towards victory seemed a foregone conclusion.
Good shot, climbed into that Darren Bravo. I don't think it's great bowling here by Malinga. I think too often he's pitching the ball up and showing his hand without setting it up.
Yes, this is just too much width. Wouldn't have been a bad delivery if it was a bit straighter.
Earns himself a run. Bravo. He's got loads of talent. There's no denying the fact that he can bat. Bravo. But the other strange thing about his career, that even though he's a very good test match batsman, he seems to have struggled at the limited overs formats, both in T20s and one days. It should be a lot easier for an established test player to adjust to a one-day format or mode, because there's less pressure on you as a batsman. Hardly any slips. Bowlers don't go out to attack you to get your wicket. But somehow he's managed a very low-keyed career stats in 50 over in T20 cricket. Will get runs. Chris Gayle doesn't want the second one.
It's to do with the mental space that you're in. In Test cricket, he's relaxed. just relying on his hands to do the job. But when it comes to the limited over format, you think you need to go harder at the ball. Average of 32.
That's a good pickup for a 6. Tipped it over. Chris Gayle will take it. He's been magnificent when it comes to hitting those big shots. 7 6s and 9 4s now.
Picked it up early. You can't bowl that short. Not to Chris Gayle. Anyone else, you might get away with it. He's got a finger to it. It was Jeevan Mendis in the deep. When it comes to the shorter format, lots of batsmen feel they need to hit the ball hard, score faster, and their hands tighten, and they tend to lose shape and their rhythm, their timing.
That's gone up in the air. This is a toughie. Chandimal takes a good catch. And that is the end of a great knock. Chris Gayle will walk away with his head held high because he was truly magnificent.
It was brilliant. The third bat didn't work. Just changed his bat to 6. A couple of balls later, ended up slicing that one. Well, they haven't done much right. The Sri Lankans, Chandimal making no mistake this time. But what a knock from Chris Gayle. 109. West Indies are 181 for 2.
181 for 2. Marlon Samuels is the new man in. Good all-round cricketer. Bats well in the middle order. There's that flashing cover drive. What a strike. Great cover drive from Bravo. He was holding the pose. He could take his picture. Lovely piece of cricket from Bravo. Have a look at him go.
Look at that swing. Reminds you of someone great.
Russell Arnold.
This is good cricket to watch. He's molded his game around Brian Lara. There are signs of it. What West Indies need is for Darren Bravo to keep converting these signs into scores, big scores.
It's another good a little push from Bravo. He's magnificent to watch through the offside when he's driving the ball. High back lift. Very elegant batsman.
Marlon Samuels. Another Jamaican. He's out there because Chris Gayle finally skied one. He's picked up at short mid-wicket.
And he's picked up a 4. An edge would do quite nicely for Samuels. He opens his account with a boundary. Just a mere formality now. 19 more required.
Gives you the impression he did it on purpose. Opened the face of the bat late, Marlon Samuels. He likes this pitch. The last time he's batted here in a test match, as well as in an ODI, he scored hundreds.
Knows the call. Where is he going? Lasith Malinga. Well, they've got Bravo. I think the stumps are broken. And now this is a serious mishap. And a bad one. He was shaping up so nicely, Bravo. They've gone for a review, but I think that's a genuine run out.
Well, Malinga did well. He attacked the ball. Got, good return to Kulasekara. Why they've gone upstairs is to make sure Kulasekara got the ball onto the stumps, which he has. He lets go of the ball as soon as he breaks the stumps. The umpire needed to make sure that he had it under control. Well, there's the red light. Darren Bravo has to go. Very unfortunate because he was looking very good. Beautiful cover drives. 190 for 3.
He's built like a tank, very powerful. Aaron Pollard. Bravo would be so disappointed because he was in great touch. This is what happened to him. He just sold a dummy, actually. He was looking at his partner and had no chance. No hope.
In such a situation, you have to respond straight away, and those couple of steps that Marlon Samuels did take initially had Bravo committing.
Down the track, he'll get the benefit of the doubt. Oh, given by the umpire. I thought he was out of his crease. And, well, he's got every right to look despondent and to feel hard done by. He's quizzical. He's looking at the umpire, looking at his partner. What went wrong there?
Well, it did look like it hit him straight and low on the pad. It was quite a way down the pitch. It's above the knee roll. And if he's moving towards the ball, that ball is a long way to go and would more or less be bouncing over the stumps. This goes without scoring. Aaron Pollard. West Indies are now 193 for 4.
A familiar pattern was unfolding in the second innings as well, with stroke taking having become difficult against the old balls. The Windies were losing wickets in a heap towards the end of their innings, just as Sri Lanka had done earlier. But the only thing it all did eventually was to put Gale's brilliance into perspective. And as far as the tourists were concerned, these scalps would prove to be too little too late anyway.
Dwayne Bravo is taking strike. The captain is in. Must admit that I was as surprised as Pollard was, because I felt that a lot of questions that needed to be answered. Impact outside, so the umpire got it wrong there and then, and that kills the case just about there. Next, was it hitting the stumps? I don't think so. Pollard is what, 6'5", 6'6"? He was out of his crease, looking to play that ball off his front foot. Bad decision, got to say. 193 for the ball. That's a nice shot. Flick. It's a heavy outfield, but the ball will go across and kiss the fence.
They'll get to that target easy. Shots like this, not too much to chase. That's the way to do it. Field creeping in on you. Need to put one away, just to put the pressure back on the bowling team.
So it's just a matter of mopping up now for the West Indies. Swept away, and that'll be 4. I think that they could have made this victory a lot easier, Russell, in terms of the position they got themselves into before they lost a few wickets.
They certainly could have. It's given Dwayne Bravo and Marlon Samuels just a bit of an opportunity to feel what this pitch is like. And it always helps. Yes, they're homegrown players, but time in the middle will always help. What they don't want is to lose their wicket, because that can really dent your confidence.
It'll be good for Dwayne Bravo as a captain to be out there at the end to finish off the innings. Samuels just climbs into that one and hoists it over long on. 6. 1 needed. Floated up, good use of the feet from Alan Samuels, got in position and picked his spot.
So there it is, and West Indies have won. They've won in the 38th over of the innings, 37 overs and 5 balls. Samuels finishes with 15. Dwayne Bravo with 8, but the innings that put the West Indies in this position was by Chris Gale. Pick up Chris Gale innings, his 20th 100, correction, his 21st 100 in one-day internationals. First in Sri Lanka, his third in Sabina Park, second in succession, he had one last year against New Zealand. So the West Indies go 1 up in the series. Each team plays the other twice, and then the top 2 teams go into the final Philippines Park over in Port of Spain. So the West Indies have got off to a really good start here.
Oh, we'll look at the West Indies innings. Built around 109 in just 100 balls by Chris Gale, 29 for Johnson Charles, who never really got going, and Darren Bravo, 27, and the rest was up to Samuels and Bravo to take it home, the bulk of the work having already been done. Well, for Sri Lanka, they just never really seemed to get going. Malinga, Kulasekara were fairly economical, but they just couldn't get wickets, and with defending a small score like 209, wickets were what they needed. It never happened, and things faded away for them.
Really did emphasize on both sides how much they depend on their experienced players, their players who have been around for a long time, who have outstanding records. For Sri Lanka, Jayawardene made 52, Sangakkara 17, Captain Matthews 55 not out, but none of the other batsmen really came forward. And for the West Indies, Chris Gale, like Jayawardene, like Sangakkara, the most experienced member of the West Indies side, with that tremendous 100. So the West Indies win by 6 wickets, and they take 5 points, 4 for the win and 1 for the bonus.
Well, Gale was the obvious choice for the Man of the Match award. His fine innings had given his team just the start it needed in this important tri-series.
Well, that's all we've got time for. I hope you've enjoyed the highlights from all of us here. Until next time, it's goodbye.